We're live.
Oh, shit, we're live?
What's up? We got Mr. the Acro Machine
Hey.
in the house.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
Man, I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me
Likewise.
here, dog.
Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
All right.
So, where did the Acro Machine come from? Where did that name come from?
Dog, let's see. I think this would be going on my 7th year in Acro. Like, honestly, like, I just did it like,
So, the Acro Machine's for acro yoga.
yeah. I hate calling it yoga. Don't call it yoga.
Yeah, I know. So I wanted to get into that. I wanted to get into that after you talk about it.
Yeah, man, it was. I like the art form of it, and I had a vision of it that was very different than like how everybody currently was in it. And so at the time, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just make videos debuting just different machines. So that's why I called it the Acro.
What do you mean
machine.
machines?
So in the world of Acro, there's there's 3 aspects to it, right? There's like static poses, like the bird or the throne, like stuff that I've taught you in Kiana, right?
Yeah.
Then there's transitional stuff, like okay, how to get from a side star to a star. Then the next evolution of it is called machines, right?
Okay.
And so machines, I guess like washing machine that goes round and round, it's static poses that transition from one to another and then end and start at the same place.
Okay.
Right? So that's what they call them,
So
machines.
are those your flips and shit that you do?
No, that's a whole different category.
Okay.
That's called Icarian.
Okay, Icarian.
Yeah. That's called Icarian.
So how did you? So that's where the name came from, right?
Yeah.
And you started it. Did you start that account like 7 years ago?
Yeah. No, maybe like 5 years ago. I just started it as like a.
Like for shits.
Yeah. I was like, man, I'm not gonna like blow up my Facebook or my original like Instagram and bore all my friends, all my normal friends and shit with like, what's this like stuff he's doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I started that whole separate account.
Okay.
Yeah, just to like place it.
How did you get into it?
Man, I was like, I was dating this girl at the time, and
In LA?
Yeah, in LA,
Okay.
and what was interesting is she was like, because I used to do a lot of heated yoga.
Like hot yoga.
Yeah, like core power yoga. I used to do a lot of that, and she was like, you're the first dude I've ever dated who does yoga. Would you be interested in doing acro yoga? And I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And so she had showed me photos, and I'm like, oh, this is like cheerleading, but laying down. You know what I mean?
You used
like
to be a cheerleader, right?
Yeah, I used to be a cheerleader. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'll try it, and it was cool. So we did it. I think she or I posted it on our like Facebook back in the day, you know. And a friend of mine was like, oh, if you're really into that, you should check out the beach, the green.
At Muscle Beach.
Oh yeah, original Muscle Beach, yeah. So a couple weeks later, we went down there, and my mind was blown. I was like, I can't believe this is. Oh, I mean, the way you see it now,
the community,
the community, yeah. I mean, I flipped it on its head. You know what I mean? Made it a little. You know what I'm saying? Gave it a little flavor, but
What's the reason why you don't like it being called acro yoga?
I just think like, there's nothing yoga about it, especially where it's evolved to. It's really more acrobatic, It's really more acrobatic. The yoga element, man, that was just some name, this dude. With all due respect, I know the guy, not trying to like throw shade or anything like that, but I think it was just a money grab. I think like in the early 2000s,
So do you know the guy who started it?
Yeah.
What's his name? Do you know?
Nah, I ain't trying to.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was just a money grab. I think. I think like in the you gotta think of in the early 2000s, man. There wasn't many yoga studios at all. Like if you really like study the history of yoga in America, it started in like Santa Monica with a bunch of rich white women and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it blossomed from there. And so I think this dude was like, oh, let's capitalize on the growing movement of yoga and how expensive the teacher trainings are. And then have this other segment called Acro yoga, right? And so
it's like a partnered yoga.
Yeah. And so what happened is in order to get your teacher certification in Acro yoga, you had to have 200 hours of teacher training in yoga, right? So the thing I've always had a problem with was like, bruh, especially in the early 2000s, think of how many dudes
they're doing yoga.
It was doing yoga.
Zero.
You know what I mean? So like,
probably zero, right? Like,
it was. You go to any teacher training, whether it was Bikram back in the day or whatever, and 95% of that class was all women.
Because like I started doing hot yoga too with this girl I was talking to back in my hometown. Yeah, and I was one of 2 guys in a room of 50 girls. Exactly, and that was 2017.
Yeah, exactly. And it's still like that today. So the thing is my problem with calling it Acro yoga is, you know, I've been around, I've flown hundreds, if not thousands of amazing athletic women. Yeah. Right? Amazing athletic women who come from gymnastics, dance. You have it across the board. But when you call it yoga, you pretty much alienate so many men, right? Like there's so many flyers, right? Who, you know, or more likely girls who have this amazing talent and this amazing ability to be able to fly, but there's no dudes to fly them because they all think that they have to know yoga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I always make this joke. I was like, yo, Vic's feet have gotten more ass than any man out there.
Yeah, dog. Yeah. Yo, you know the funny thing is though, man? People are like, yo, you must be smashing daily. I'm like, here's the funny thing.
I'm super respectful, bro.
I'm not really attracted to like any of the chicks I fly. Really? I like them thick, bro. Like so thick, I can't even flip them. Like,
that's funny. That's super funny.
Like if I can't flip you, I'm probably attracted to you. You know what I mean? Like, nah,
I feel you. No, that's super funny though. But like, I get to your point where like the gender dynamic for it, there's way more flyers than there is bases. So basically, the base is the guy on the ground with their feet in the air flying the flyer. Usually, right? Yeah. So all these like positions that you're talking about, star, chair, like how did you learn those? Because obviously there's no star position or side star or whatever in cheerleading, right?
No.
So how did you like learn?
I just taught myself. Yeah, I just taught myself. I mean, like, well, you've been out to the beach. I took like maybe 4 or 5 classes from this dude, and out of those 4 or 5 classes, 3 of the classes I kind of already knew what he was teaching, right? Or I'd already done it on my own. So I didn't the best was like, for me, the best way to learn was I would just go every Sunday. Yeah. And then I would like get girls' numbers and I'm like, yo, let's meet up during the week.
And let's practice.
And let's just practice, right? And then what I had discovered is like, if you take 2 novices who don't know what they're doing, it's really hard to learn. But like if you fly with somebody or base with somebody who already knows what they're doing,
the learning curve is cut shorter.
Yeah, it's cut way shorter. Yeah. And so that's what I did. So pretty much all the stuff you see, I just kind of taught myself.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But this whole, I guess, journey, like you didn't have an intention of like teaching or traveling the world.
No, not at all.
Flying people at all.
Nah, it was like, to me.
So did it shock you, like when someone was like, oh, can you teach us how to do that?
Hell yeah, bro. I was like, what, dog? Let me tell you, the first time.
Yeah, when was that? When was the
first time anyone ever offered me money? There was this Russian chick, and she came.
What year is this, by the way?
This is probably 2015 maybe. Okay. Somewhere around there. There's this Russian chick.
Did Acro start picking up more during that time, or is it like was it just as popular back then as it is now?
I think with the advent of the internet, and things going viral is probably, in a weird way, I think it's more popular now. But I think in like 2008, I think it hit its peak. We're becoming global with this. But then I think when people when people got under the hood, I think it was like I think they ended up getting turned off because of I think the early adopters of Acro, the way they kind of like carried themselves, you know what I'm saying? I think turned a lot of people off. And so, but now it's getting a little bit more mainstream. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where cats like you and, are wanting to do it.
Yeah, I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
But back to your point with the first time you got paid.
Oh, yeah.
The first time someone offered you money.
So the first time I got paid, this girl named Tamara. Just, stunningly beautiful, tall Russian chick. She was like, "You're not creepy." she was like, so she came to the beach. I flew her around. I'll just like fly people or whatever. Yeah. I got her number. Then she was just so sweet. She texts me because she's paid. Like, chick was paid, right? She texts me. She was like, "Hey, I know you're doing all this acro. Must be hard. Stop by this massage parlor. I already set up a massage for you." Like, she just paid for a massage for me. So right after I left
where?
The beach on a Sunday.
Oh shit!
Right? I like drove to this massage place on Santa Monica, and they're like, "Yeah, Tamara, she paid for a massage for you, And I was like, "Dang!" She was like, "The shower's right in there." And so, like, here was this woman I just met at the beach that like just paid for like a thank you. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
And I was like, "Oh, snap!" And then she was doing a Miss Russia talent show.
Okay.
Right.
Or
Miss Russia
pageant show.
Miss Russia talent show. Yeah, pageant show. And she wanted her talent to be an acro flow. Right. So So
she was like, "Yo, Vic."
So she was like, because she's like 6 foot, 200 something pounds, really thin but dense, right?
Yeah.
So she's like
super fit.
Yeah, she's super fit, and no dude could really lift her because she's like, 2 something. You know what I'm saying? But I could easy.
Yeah.
And so she was like, can I pay you so we can just meet up like once a week or whatever? The pageant is X amount of time away
at this date.
Yeah. And and I was like, man, people are really willing to pay me for this shit. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
was the first time, and then you started rolling with it.
So I was like, I started advertising, and then once I like kind of like really established myself as like a guy who like can do acro with you and also keep you safe, right? Because that's the big thing too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you just send someone in the air and they just fall.
Yeah. So once that happened, then I just started getting just tons of, business, which was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man, it was
super
dope.
Cool.
Man. It was dope.
So you said like you flipped. By the way, the green is this big patch of green grass in Santa Monica, right to the left of the pier if you're looking at the ocean.
Yeah.
And Vic brings out this huge speaker. It's a party out there. There's mats. There's a ton of people out there, and it's a great time. And like, what do you mean? Like, all of you guys should check it out, by the way. And what do you mean you flipped it? Like, what did you do? Like, how did you help change it? Like, what do you mean by that?
Just the culture there was, and not to knock. I respect like all types of cultures, right? I'm a people lover. I'm a fan of like from a
sociological
perspective, right? I'm a fan of just understanding like NASCAR culture, or right, like and the people that move in those communities and what makes them tick and operate. And the same goes for acro. But the thing about acro that I felt, it was commandeered by this like hippie culture, right? Like the hippies that all like went
the
to
big ones of
Burning
the
Man and you know, showers was optional.
Yeah.
And everybody was like introverted. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
Have you done acro with someone who hasn't like showered in a long time?
Oh, bruh. Like, man, I know I'm offend some people when I say this, but like, it throws me off when when I fly a girl with like hairy armpits. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But like, I respect it. It's like, okay,
It's cool.
you know
I understand.
I get it, but it was a shot.
Sure.
You know, and that's like what you kind of get in that community or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, to me, I felt like there's a lot of spiritual bypassing in that world too, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, man, let me just kind of like make it joyous and a party.
Yeah.
And so I started bringing music and like, you know.
Yeah. So did you just start bringing out music? Just like, were you planning to change it? Like,
No. I think there was a moment where I was like, I think I need to start taking like leadership out here, you know, because the people who came before me, I felt like the way they carried themselves didn't feel as inviting.
sure.
So I'm an outgoing person anyway who loves like a party and loves people. So I figured music is just like this thing that we all
Everyone relates to.
right, everybody relates to. Yeah. So just trying to figure out the different vibe of what the kind of music people would like out there. And I started with like a smaller speaker, and then I approached Soundbox, and the first Soundbox was like, we don't just give speakers out to people, you know what I mean? And then, I showed them the community, and, they made me one of their first. I was one of their first like people in the whole United States, because they're like a Swedish company or something like that. Yeah. That they had ever given a soundbox to, for the beach. And I just bought a permit. Like they took care of all that with the city.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So they got a cool special arrangement with the city. They moved their offices down there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it worked out well. And then it was just just a fun time. I make sure I stay away from like music that's derogatory or whatever.
There's some kids out there.
Yeah. And the kids love it. Parents love bringing their kids.
Yeah.
People love watching it.
Yeah.
So just kind of that's how I just kind of flipped it.
Heck
just
yeah.
because if you would have went out there before, everybody was kind of in their little cliques,
yeah.
and it was quiet, and they were kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And,
Not as inviting.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about you, bro. Like, so Vic comes to F45. I don't know how much anymore. You still go like 4 or 5 days a week?
I try. Depends, man. I mean,
you're so friendly, bro. Like, one of the friendliest dudes I've ever met.
Oh,
man.
thanks,
like,
man.
I'm being
Appreciate
honest.
it, dog. Appreciate it, man.
And like, you're so positive. The energy's always good. Like, what made you that way? What do you think made you that way? Because like, most people, especially in LA, like, they're not like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, what's good?
No, I just love people, man.
Yeah.
I love people. I just love people. I love being like your biggest fan, But here's the thing. I start getting everybody the benefit of the doubt, and so I'm cool with everybody. But if you cross me, I'll be the biggest asshole to you. Because it's like, how I came in this situation with you.
Yeah.
We was cool, but you know what I mean? But no, I just love people, man. I think it's like...
Simple as that.
Yeah.
You didn't do any like self-work or anything like that to become that outgoing, friendly person?
Nah. Like, I don't know. Have you ever heard of Landmark Forum?
No.
No.
What is that?
Listen, there's all these like 3-day workshops, right? Where
like
you
that
really,
Tony Robbins type of deal.
yeah, all that done Tony Robbins, all that.
Yeah.
One of the things I think, like, for me, I mean, I've always been that person, you know what I'm saying? But what I realized as I became older was I knew, like, being a people person was my way to connect with people, right? Because as humans, we all have a desire to be liked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
It's very natural.
yeah, and it takes different forms.
Sure.
You know? And I think for me it was you know, I think I was able to like diagnose it where it was just like, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation, the best way to like make myself comfortable and everybody else comfortable is to just be the person who kind of initiates, right? And then make other people feel comfortable too, right? So
The calming, friendly guy in the room.
something like that, yeah.
Who's loud and obnoxious sometimes.
Yeah, man. Right.
So where are you from? Like where were you raised in? Because like you're not from LA, right?
No, I'm from Dallas originally.
Texas?
Yeah.
Dang, that's different than LA.
Yeah. Oh, bro, night and day.
Did you move to LA for acting?
Yeah.
So how long you've been acting for a minute? Like you've been in a lot of things.
Yeah, man.
And I guess what drew you to acting? Like, were you the kid growing up who wanted to be on TV and be famous, or were pretending or like trying to imitate other people from a book? Like, why did acting attract you?
Yeah, I've always, ever since I was little, I've always wanted to just, you know, what I liked about acting is I understood at a young age that actors, musicians, they have influence over people, right? In the sense of like,
what do you mean by that?
the clothes you want to wear, or you know, how you want to live your life, right? Or you know, it, for me it was never, I mean, I've always loved the idea of telling stories, right? But like when I was like, my era, I always loved like Eddie Murphy and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. I thought those were like the teeny boppers of back in the day, where all the girls loved those dudes, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to be like them cats, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, just, I loved making people laugh. I knew how to make them laugh. You know, I would like, you know, I would work out sketches in like the 6th, 7th grade, and then like play them out during the lunch, you know, during lunch, or, you know, just like stupid shit like that or whatever. And yeah, man, I thought like I had what it took. I was like, yeah, I think I could do this. And then of course,
well, you were in some pretty big stuff, like a couple. I saw your like all the things that you're in. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You were in Sister.
That was my first thing.
I was like, shit, I saw Vic in that. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, man. That was like my first job. I actually just ran into Tia and Tamara at Bath and Body Works.
Oh, like, really? That's hilarious.
That's some LA shit right there. Like, who can say they like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that was like my first job, dude.
Was that out here? Like, when did you one day did you just pick up? Did you went to college, right?
No, I came straight out here. Well, I got a cheerleading scholarship to Long Beach State.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So did you not go through with that?
Nah, that was just what I told my mom, just so I can come to California.
Oh shit.
I was like, yeah, I'm taking this scholarship, and they thought I was taking the scholarship, and I thought I was.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna go to school. You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna go to school and cheer.
But then acting kind of picked up, or
but
what?
Yeah, then like all the places that I wanted to live fell through. I didn't understand the geography of LA, so I didn't know how far Long Beach was from like Hollywood.
This far.
Yeah, I didn't know, right? Like I saw
You're
on the
like,
map.
California's right there. They're right next to each other.
Like San Francisco and LA are in the same neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know.
It's like a 30-minute drive.
Right? And so I got a situation to live in Hollywood when I first moved here, and then I was like, man, to drive to like Long Beach every day.
For sure.
It's like, man. And then I said, well, let me just try this acting thing out here. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go to, for a year.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I'll go to college, but then it ended up working.
Nice.
Yeah. So I never ended up going to college.
What was the biggest shock, or I guess, did you even have a shock from moving from Dallas, Texas to Los Angeles, California?
The biggest shock? I don't know.
Like, was LA exactly how you thought it was going to be in your head?
I mean, yeah, no. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what's the biggest shock? I think it was more just like driving down the street and seeing like landmarks from movies. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I
like all the big the signs.
Or yeah, the signs are just like, Grease is my favorite
landmarks.
movie.
So like you would see like where they got filmed.
Yeah, okay. Or like for example, right up the street, Circus Liquor, right?
Yeah.
That's in Clueless.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That's just right around the corner.
Yeah, that's why they have old school liquor shops out here, because they keep them looking old and like old school for movies.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, that was kind of a big. I think the biggest shock for me was when I first moved here. I immediately got in with a bunch of people who were famous, right? And so what was weird... Did
you ever get like starstruck when that happened, or no?
In the beginning, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I was like... I'm
right next to
chilling with, right? So-and-so.
Yeah.
And... then it was so weird as to how normal it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like how just very normal.
Like they're human and I'm meant to be here too?
Yeah.
Type of deal?
Yeah. Just how normal people were. Mm-hmm. And every time I go back to Dallas and check in with my friends, they'd be like, yo, so how's so-and-so? What's he like? Or what's she like? And
they're like normal.
Just like, they're just normal people, humans, man. Yeah. Like we went out and just got pizza Friday night and didn't do shit. You know what I mean? Like,
was that like an indicator that like, oh, these people are normal, I could do what they do too?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no, because at the same time, I think everybody was kind of putting up a front still. Like, whether you're in Hollywood, right, or anywhere else in America, people kind of put a front or an exterior up to a certain extent. Whether now people do it on social media, like everything is all good with their life. You know what I'm saying? Yet they're battling with so many demons and X, Y, and Z, right? So that's just one element. But, that's always happened. You know what I mean? So, it was just, it was, oh yeah. And here's another big shock. I thought everybody on television was rich. I thought everybody was rich.
Like everybody from like small shows to
I thought if I saw your ass on TV, I thought you was rich.
Yeah.
And then I got out here.
Yeah, and then you realize like, oh, they got just like paid for that episode.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the biggest shock. My little sister used to watch. We would always fight to who got the television on Saturday mornings, right?
Okay. Back at home.
Growing up. Yeah, growing up. And there was this live action TV show that my sister loved, and she'd always wake up earlier than me. So I was kind of forced to watch this TV show.
Because she woke up early.
And I started liking the show too.
Sure.
So I knew all the characters on this live action Saturday morning TV show.
Yeah.
And then I move out here and I go to this restaurant, and the star of the show is a waiter, and that fucked me up. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yo, that was like.
Wait, so the star of the show was? How did you know she was waiter? Or he was?
Because he was waiting he was serving. Like the star of that Saturday morning TV show was serving at like the Daily Grill or something like that.
How did you know that?
Because I ate there.
Oh, you ate there?
Yeah.
And you saw him?
And I saw him.
Got it.
And I was just like, wow. Like, wow. And it just hit me. I was like, wow. Like, I thought he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was cool because, like, years later, he ended up becoming a music writer.
Cool.
Right? Placed a couple songs with J-Lo, a couple big people.
Sweet.
So I had walked up to him at a party, and I would just want to say, hey, man, I'm really excited and happy for your success because, like,
I used to watch
and I told him the whole story about how I was like, I couldn't believe you was a waiter, and I saw you on this TV show. And he's like, yeah, man, like LA's rough like that, bro.
Yeah.
LA is rough like that.
People don't like understand, like, for example, like my mom was like, your rent's like more than my mortgage. Like,
Yeah, bro.
And if you're wanting to be an actor or someone in the industry, music, entertainment, whatever, like, you have to have free time. You can't be working like a quote unquote stable job that like pays you regularly, because you need time. You need time to audition, right? And do whatever it takes.
Yeah. You need a, and that, I mean, the cool thing about LA is it's kind of structured in such a way where people know that that's part of the business. And so I could, especially, the serving industry, right? Whether you're a bartender or a waiter or anything like that. Like, I think that's as long as like the management and ownership know that that's part of the deal, which they do
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine,
Yeah. Did you have to do any of that?
No.
So you were lucky enough just to go straight into it and survive out here.
Yeah. I mean, I've had my ups and downs, but yeah,
Sure.
man.
Right now in your life is so obviously the Acro machine took off.
Yeah.
People are flying you out to go teach workshops.
Yeah.
And spin people on your feet. It sounds like objectively, like if you like were your younger self, you're like, oh, people are flying me out to flip them on my feet. It sounds ridiculous, right?
Yeah, bro. I would have never. Like, I'll say this. When I started my Instagram and I got wind of the idea that I could travel,
Yeah.
I was like, man, if I could just hit a few spots, and get it because of Instagram and like doing this, like I won. And I mean, I feel like I've done it. I personally would love to like take Acro to a place where it's just more accessible and for everybody, not just a particular type of person, but just everybody.
So that was my point I was gonna get to. So you have this unexpected life that kind of came out of just like a hobby, right? And then you have your acting, right? That it's still going. Like I see you, like you just landed a commercial. Hilarious, by the way.
Thanks,
I was laughing my ass off. I was like, "Come on, Big, let's go, baby!"
Thanks, Doc.
And like. So what do you want to do now? Like, obviously, like you said, you want to grow this Acro community into like an everybody community. Like, But also, like, do you have any more aspirations as an actor?
Yeah. I like the thing that was so great about Acro for me was I went through like a really kind of dark time around 2008, 2009, and I just kind of stepped away from acting, and what was beautiful about this sport of Acro is it kind of took my mind off of things. I was able to kind of
meet people.
Just use my body, use my creativity in like another way. So it was really nice. And then
what do you love most about Acro?
The zen state I get in when I'm just like creating flows or flipping people, because your mind has to be totally clear. Nothing matters. You're essentially trying to create movement. Two people are trying to create movement, right?
This art piece.
Yeah.
Right.
And so safety is always at the forefront of your mind. So it focuses you to just be
totally present.
Yeah. And I love that feeling of it, right?
And what do you say that presentness, that Zen feeling got you out of your head from like your downtime in 2008, 2009?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And so, but as far as like my designs on acting and going full throttle, I'm ready to like kind of step back, going full throttle the way I used to be, which was
that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Just I think I'm ready for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I think the when I first started, it was really hard to place me in any,
Why is that?
Cuz I wasn't you had a bunch of, they wanted like the traditional black dude.
What's the traditional black dude?
I mean, well, traditional is a wrong word, but like the stereotypical, right? And I was never really that.
You're not a stereotypical.
Yeah. And so, it was like I got tired of like, okay,
trying to put you in a box.
Yeah, you're gonna be Jamal. I'm like, bruh, I'm not a Jamal. You know what I mean? And so so I mean, just watching like what's happening in the world now, in the space now of just entertainment, it's just been amazing, So
in what way?
Just across the board for people of color, right? Just whether it's showing, like, for example, Asian men in leading
superhero movie.
Whether it be superhero or the love interest, right?
Oh yeah.
As opposed to like the sidekick, you know what I'm saying, right? Or
Kev made a good point. So our buddy Kev, like, he brought to my attention that, like, you think about superheroes, I didn't realize it, like, they're all like white guys, like, growing up, right? And like, you look up to Batman, you look up to Superman, you look up to Spider-Man, like, and they don't look like you or me.
No, they don't. Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until like he put it into perspective. I was like, oh shit. Like, that's why I look up to these characteristics or qualities, because that's what's been, like, not brainwashed, but brainwashed.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
In my head this entire time.
Yep. Yep. And then, like, the representation aspect of it matters, and that's another thing too, right? Like, the reason why I've always wanted to be an actor is because I always, on a certain level, I always knew that if I was able to tell the stories or be a part of telling stories, and I just happened to be an African-American male telling, wonderful stories or whatever, that didn't have to do with the fact that, you were black or you know what I mean? You just happened to be,
the storyteller.
Yeah. And so, like, I think like my character in Can't Hardly Wait, I think that's one of the reasons why I think that character resonated with so many people back in the day, because nobody really ever saw that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can relate to that guy in their high school. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether you were black or white. And so, like, those...
It's like you understand because, like, everyone had to experience that guy.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah. And so now to see it on a massive scale the way you're seeing it now is just... Man, it's just amazing. I love it. I love it.
Do you still get residuals from that? Like,
oh yeah.
I didn't know how that works. Like, I didn't realize. Like, I think I watched Matthew McConaughey's like speech to like Houston. I was like, oh shit! Every time people buy that movie or rent that movie, like, they get residual checks like every month.
Yeah, man, it's wild. I mean, I've gotten just yesterday. I got checks in the mail. Literally anywhere from 12 cents to like $5,000. Like, you know what I mean? You just, like, yo, why are you still sending me these 12-cent checks or 2-cent checks? Yeah. But
what's the feeling when you get a check that for some work that you did 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Like, how, like, does it shock you? So like, damn, cool.
no, it's I mean, somebody's watching it somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, they have, because it's streaming, right? Just like, excuse me, just like every platform. I'm not sure how, you know, the how it's broken down, but like back in the day, you know, when it was just like you went to Blockbuster or you bought a DVD or whatever, like those checks were usually a lot more sizable, or when it aired on television, right? So you know those are those
I feel like
checks
streaming's allowed everything to be cheaper and access to more people though.
Yeah.
So back to the point, you're not going to go like full force on acting right now because that's what you decided to do this time in your life. Like, what's the game plan to make Acro this thing that you kind of helped like basically transform a little bit, because it's it's basically based out of Santa Monica, like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Into this everybody type of sport. This like I feel like in your head you kind of want it to be like, oh, every kid plays soccer in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like you kind of wanted it to get to that level, right? Is that what I'm saying? Like what's the game plan?
I mean, I definitely, I wanted to get to a level to where you don't have to be part of like a hipster community or a spiritual wellness community to do acro. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
I want to remove the stigma, right? That for men to do it, you somehow have to be feminine. You know,
honestly, you're like the most masculine dude out there.
Exactly, right? You know what I mean?
When I went out there and I was like, Vic's out here, I'm good. I can be
exactly,
out here.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. I would love more me's out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I mean, it's a touchy subject. I mean, because I don't want to like get canceled.
Anybody,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is it's
you
like
just want to more inclusive.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it, really.
Like, look, man. You know, this is Black History Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the first black cheerleaders ever.
Oh, really?
Most people don't know this.
Dang.
I was like one of the first ever.
Actually, I think about it because, like, what's all those cheer movies, right? It's just like white chicks and white dudes.
Yeah, man. Like, if you, like, I was one of the first dudes ever.
What got you into cheerleading?
I didn't. It was a couple things. I love playing football. Or I love the camaraderie, the camaraderie with my like teammates. But then what happened was I also love theater. I also love to act. And then as we were getting into my junior and senior year, those electives, they were conflicting. So I could no longer be in theater and football, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like I kind of had to make a decision.
Yeah.
What I thought was going to be
best for you in the future.
Best, yeah, exactly. Like, was I good at football? Yeah. Like, I was fast. I was 5'9". I think the prototype would have been like a Emmitt Smith on like a good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could I have gotten a scholarship? Yeah. I probably could have got a mid-major D1, D2, definitely junior college. You know what I mean? Right? For sure.
For sure, junior college.
But like, could I make the pros? I don't know.
Were you thinking about like that strategically back then?
Yeah. But acting, I was like, oh yeah, I can make money doing this.
Sure.
Yeah. And so that was the thing. I quit. It's funny. It's like I picked one of the two most like risky.
Oh, pro sports and acting?
Yeah. I was like, which one of these do I think I can make it in? You know what I mean? And so yeah, the ending of my sophomore year, I because I had to choose one, I just decided to get rid of football. And then because of acting, then I didn't want to be the guy in school who, like, I always felt that if you were in high school, you still needed to have an activity. like whether it's chess club or drama club
Sure.
or whatever, and I wanted an excuse to like still be out on Friday nights late.
Yeah.
And you know, shout out to all the dudes who came before me. Like those were some those
Cheerleading dudes.
the cheerleading guys were some solid dudes.
Yeah.
Right? That like the way they carried themselves. And again, this is Texas, right?
Yeah.
The way they carried themselves didn't make it like such a taboo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To
Because,
be a cheerleader.
yeah, I feel like, I guess, did you get any shit in high school for like, oh, like you're a cheerleader, dude?
So the thing is, I was ready to fuck up anybody who's gonna like, because when it was a big deal, like, yo, you're quitting football to be a cheerleader?
Yeah.
I joke around, I'm like, that's the gayest decision I ever made in my life, you know what I mean? But and I was ready to fuck up anybody who had anything to say.
Yeah.
And then when I made the decision, people's cool. Like no one really talked shit.
No way.
No, there was this one dude. I would hear whispers.
Yeah.
But he would never say it
Say
to
it to
my
your face, yeah.
He would never say it to my face. So I was
Really?
like, bruh, as long as you can't say it, you know what I'm saying? We good. But yeah, man, it ended up being an amazing experience.
I
dog.
feel like that helped you so much in your acro career right now. Like,
Oh yeah, bro.
you know how bodies fall. You know how to catch them here, there.
Bruh,
You
let
know,
me tell
you know
you.
the biodynamics and like just like how like you know just like
Yeah,
the body
dude.
works.
Let me tell you, when I got out there to the beach, I was doing things within 3 months that took other guys like 2 years to do. And I was like, I ain't special.
Yeah, I just did this shit longer than
Yeah,
you, bro.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
And I didn't even scream at the top of my lungs, well, yeah, I can do this because I was a cheerleader. I don't even think people
Knew.
figured out I was a
Yeah.
cheerleader like a couple years later or whatever. I just, they just didn't know. But yeah, man, it definitely helped the transition, a lot easier. But yeah, going back to your question, yeah, man, that's the goal is like if I can just somehow create an environment with Acro where it's just like everybody wants to do it,
Yeah.
Men, I think it to me, Acro and the growth of Acro is only as good as the bases that are in the communities.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you call it? So you're telling me what you want to do for it, but like, do you have any like structure of like how like are you gonna do workshops in like Texas or workshops in Florida or workshops in Mexico? Like,
well, the plan was before the pandemic was to start a weekly class, right? Start a weekly class and to get people in there weekly.
and what about now? I mean, you can do it.
Yeah, I can do it now. I just got sidetracked because I started working so much, right? And then two,
The acting. Again?
yeah. And then two, also, once the daily classes, unfortunately, it's weird. There's still a lot of people who are like, ooh, touching other human, we're still in a pandemic, you know
for
what
the
I'm
COVID,
saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, because none of the classes have started back.
Yeah. Really?
No, yeah. There's no weekly classes anywhere in the nation right now.
Really?
No, there's like workshops here and there.
Huh.
But like, yeah, there's no,
Just gotta wait until the world opens back up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cause cause there's been no classes as far as I know, like nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you most excited for in your life right now?
I met a girl.
Nice.
I think she's the one.
Are you serious?
I think so, dog. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's exciting, bro. Congrats.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm keep it on the low. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I can't be blowing up my gram and then, you know what I mean? 3 months later, and everybody's like, yo, what happened? So, any girl I'm usually serious about, I never really put on my gram anyway.
That's good.
Or I do, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
That was the one. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, she's a dope chick, man. She's got her shit together. She's bomb, yeah. So I'm definitely, looking forward to,
Why? What are the characteristics that like kind of give you the cue that I think this is the one?
I love nerds. Like I love nerdy women, you know. So there's that. She's just a good girl.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, she's just a good girl, man.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, so we'll see. You know, we'll see.
We'll see where that. I'll tune back in a couple months, few months down the road. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to get like you, man. You know, you got your. You know what I mean, bruh.
Yeah, she's dope. It's cool that I didn't realize how much I liked having a relationship until I had a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was like, yo, I like being single. I like having my own space. I like doing stuff for me. But then I was like, oh, I like this shit too.
Yeah. Relationships, man, they're so fun, especially if you have the right one.
Yeah.
Like it's just the best. They're really the best. And two, like, and I've seen this. The second you get locked down and you get in a relationship,
yeah,
and you're truly committed to that relationship, personally, the level of success, you know, in your personal life as far as work or finances seem to go through the roof because it's like your
depends
focus.
on who it is. I mean, depends if it's compatible.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, if all that,
because there's definitely relationships that bring you down or elevate you up. Yeah, I agree though.
Yeah, but with the right one, that's all you need, man.
Yeah. So I had Reggie on the podcast a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's my boy, bro.
Yeah, he was telling me, and we were talking about after the podcast. I didn't know you guys were tight. That he said you were one of the first people he met out here.
Yeah,
all that stuff. And so I'm a big comedy fan lately. Right?
Yeah.
So when I first came to LA, the Comedy Store changed my life.
Oh, word?
Like I was in a really dark spot. Like I moved out to LA, went to this school to not chase, but chasing high school ex-girlfriend kind of.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And I hated school. Like I never wanted to go to school. But my parents are very traditional, right?
Yeah.
Very traditional Asian household. Want you to go to good school, get good grades, get a good job.
Bro, I already know, dog. Yeah.
And I was just not happy. I was very, very, very sad, right? And I went with this friend of mine to the Comedy Store one night. I think it was my second year. I transferred from a community college to UCLA. And I think the lineup was Whitney Cummings, Adam Devine, Joe Rogan, Chappelle showed up. It was killer lineup.
Wow.
Insane. First time at the Comedy Store. And I left the next morning, my cheeks were cramping because I laughed so fucking hard. And it made my super sad weekday, whatever, it turned my mood upside down, right?
Yeah.
Ever since that day, big fan of comedy. Right?
Yeah.
I watched a lot of specials, all that stuff. But my point was Reggie told me you were into comedy. You used to do it.
I used to do stand-up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since I'm such a big fan of it, I like how people, their process of coming up with bits or just even the standing up in front of people you don't know, fucking talking in just a microphone, and that's the entertainment right there. You're not acting, you're not singing. It's just your voice, and you're speaking your truth through a comical lens.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, obviously, I didn't know you did that. Reggie told me you did it.
Yeah.
So, how did that start? When did you become a fan of comedy? Why did you stop? Yeah.
So I've always loved comedy. Again, my idol was Eddie Murphy. I've always loved comedy. Right?
Eddie's the GOAT.
Yeah, I always loved making people laugh. I've always loved comedy. So what happened?
Were you a class clown growing up?
Yeah, totally was. But yeah. Totally was.
He was like, yeah, maybe. Oh, it definitely was.
I was totally a clown. But I always loved comedic acting, right? Mm-hmm. Now there's different genres or different styles of it, right? Situational, slapstick, right? There's all these different, and so through the periods that I've been in Hollywood, they've all kind of changed, right? So one thing I kept running up against when I would audition for things was the powers that be. They held a different standard for white actors versus like black actors, right? So if you were white, it was okay if you came out of Groundlings or UCB or Second City.
I don't know what that is.
Those are all sketch comedy places, improv,
Okay,
right?
improv places.
So everyone you've ever seen on Saturday Night Live has come out of one of those three places.
Okay.
Right? So there's a whole formula for improv or Key and Peele, right? There's a whole
Yeah.
Right? And then as far as Hollywood was concerned, to be considered the funny black guy, you had to do stand-up comedy. You had to come out of the stand-up world. And I happened to be funny and didn't come from either world. I just understood comedy. I understood timing.
Yeah.
The threes. I understood all that. And so what happened is they were like, so I figured, I was like, okay, in order to be considered serious
actor,
a serious actor, a funny actor, I guess I'll start doing comedy. So I just started doing stand-up comedy.
just out of nowhere.
Yeah. Right.
Where was the first open mic you did?
The first open, maybe... I think they held one at the Laugh Factory. I think I did the Laugh Factory. I did the Laugh Factory. Yeah, and then I dabbled with it here and there. And then
Did you love it when you first started?
I did, but I never had a point of view.
What do you mean?
So the comics that fucking blow, that take it to the next level, they have there's cats that just tell jokes, right? And even though their jokes can be from the way they see life, if it's not from their point of view in such a way that only you can tell that joke, right? Because you're drawing from your experience and how you've seen the world, then it's really hard to like kind of blow up more so, right? So like I was really good at writing jokes, but like it took me a lot longer to kind of figure out what my point of view was, because my whole adult life I was in LA. You know, I couldn't
just talking about experiences.
Yeah. So, and I wasn't gonna like, you know, so my earlier jokes were like, you know, shit like, I used to use this one joke all the time. I'm like, my opener was be like, I'm just happy to be here right now. I almost, you know, last night I almost got my ass kicked by this Mexican chick, you know.
Yeah.
And what happened was I bumped into her and I smeared her eyebrow, and then I was trying to figure out how to like color it in, and we were having artistic differences because like I wanted to give her like a feathered human look, and she wanted these like pumpkin, you know, McDonald's arches, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she swung at me, right? And I moved out the way, and she slipped and she cracked her head, and like candy fell out of her head. Like that was,
so there was like no point of view for it.
there was no point of view. It's a funny fucking joke,
hilarious.
right?
Yeah.
But like, so I would just tell weird jokes
Shit
like that. Yeah. And I wasn't a Def Comedy Jam guy because like when I was doing
Def
it,
Comedy?
Def Comedy, God, you're young, bro.
I'm
That's
young,
crazy.
bro.
Def Comedy was like, that was like any black comic who was trying to make it in the 2000s, 2010s, you had to go through a Def Comedy Jam.
Okay.
And Def Comedy Jam was just raunchy. It was dirty.
Yeah.
It was like, that's how you had to write.
Sure.
And I never wrote like that.
So you never did a Def Comedy Jam?
No, I never did Def Comedy Jam. Yeah, so you had to write like that. And I just didn't.
Sure.
But the reason why I got into stand up was because I wanted to be taken more serious
as an actor.
And it worked, right? It worked because 2 years later I got voted in for Just for Laughs comedy, like one of the funniest comics, and they flew all these funny comics to Canada. Like, it's this big thing they do every year.
Yeah.
And then out of that, only one guy out of my class got a development deal out of that because he had a point of view.
Sure.
Right? His whole point of view was what it was like to work at a mini putt-putt golf place, right? So what happened is because he was telling these jokes from his personal perspective working, they were like, "Oh, great. Let's pitch a whole TV show around his stand-up comedy." You really couldn't do that with my comedy
because there was no point of view.
There was no point of view.
Funny.
Yeah. So later, I ended up getting a deal, just a talent deal with Fox, and that turned into like a pilot. They put me on a pilot, right?
What's a pilot?
It's just the first TV show. The pilot is the first filmed show of a possible TV show. So, there'll be all
the test run.
Yeah, they'll you'll spend a couple $1 million on making the first episode.
Yeah.
And then you go to the network with it, and if they like it, then they'll greenlit.
Okay.
They'll greenlit the show, and then it'll be on the air.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So whether it's Netflix or NBC or whoever, they got these $100 million budgets every year.
Yeah.
We're gonna do 40 pilots, and we'll probably only pick up 2 shows. So that's what happened.
I didn't realize how much money are are being put into shows or commercials and stuff like that. Like you reposted the NFL commercial, right? The one that show for the halftime show.
Oh yeah.
Right. One of my clients is an agent for this big director. This director directed that commercial.
Oh wow.
And he told me how much they had to make that commercial, and I was like, "You're fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, man.
And I was like, like you said, they're a couple $1 million for a pilot, few $1 million for a minute commercial. I'm just like,
dog.
yo, this is ridiculous.
It's nuts, bro.
And the commissions that people take out here, I was like,
nuts, bro.
I was like, if you land one big thing out here, like, it could change your entire life.
Oh yeah.
That's why people stay. That's why people keep striving. It's kind of ridiculous how much it is. Like, how much money is in the entertainment industry.
Bro, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit, I've seen. So the traditional pilot season used to be January to March, April, right?
Oh, so there's a season for it.
Yeah, so there used to be a season. Now it's kind of all year, but there was a time where it was like January to like March, and every actor in LA just like buckled down, and you fucking hit
buckled down?
You just got in fucking fight mode because you're like, every pilot audition is a potential, right?
Potential like hit.
Yeah. So it's like, it's wild because you could be broke February, and then you get a pilot, the show gets picked up, it debuts, it becomes a hit September of the same year, and your life is fucking forever changed in less than a year.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. I've seen it a million times.
You've seen it a lot.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's just game changing.
Yeah.
It's game changing, bro.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I just I haven't experienced or had seen anyone do that, so that when I heard those numbers, it just blew my mind.
Yeah, because there's so much money involved now because everything is diluted, and there's so many ways to make content.
Yeah.
I don't think the money is there. I mean, it's still there. It's still there,
but it's not what it used to be, maybe.
Yeah.
So
it's still there.
what has I guess fitness played into your life? Because you did football, you did cheer. Obviously, Acro is very athletic. You work out at F45. Like, what is the importance of fitness in your life? Like, how has it helped you, I guess, be the person you are?
Yeah, I mean, I hate working out. You know what I mean? Man, yeah. But I know you have to. But no, it's always been important because
You don't have to.
No, you don't. But no, I mean, like fitness is. I love to always be able to move, to be able to like still like it's kind of nuts that I can still do what I do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing, man. Like, you know, I didn't have kids in my 20s.
Yeah.
Right? So by the time I have kids, I got to see them motherfuckers go through college and high school. I still got to be in shape to do, you know what I'm saying?
To be dad.
Yeah. So it's like, I definitely think about that more and more every day. Like, you know what my diet is, you know, my workout routine.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm sure, do you want to be a dad?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it much. I feel like as you grow older, you think about it more.
Yeah.
Like my business partner, he's getting up there. He's a decade or a little bit more older than me.
Yeah.
And he that's in the back of his head a lot. He's probably somewhere age too. He thinks about it a lot more than I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, I feel you.
it's also like time too. Like it's like, oh, like whoever I'm with, like, and like obviously guys are easier. Like the lady, they have a clock.
They have a window.
They have a window. Yeah. So like that's always in the back of his head too. But yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, I'm not thinking about it too.
No, I
too
feel
deeply.
you. I feel you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fitness is. I mean, it's bro. It's. I can't imagine like a life without moving.
Yeah.
It's just weird. That's weird to me, man.
It's weird. So I've had I started personal training at UCLA, and the first clients that we had were they're called work strong clients. So these people who were employees at UCLA who got workers' comp for getting injured on the job.
Yeah.
So one of my clients was this 6'6", probably 360-pound white guy who was like some sort of engineer. I don't remember. He was one of my first clients, and trained him for like. Just imagine how big that guy is.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. It's
right?
like a lineman. Jeez.
Yeah, right. And I trained with him for 6 months under this workers' comp type of deal. The school paid for my services, and he lost around 30 to 50 pounds. I don't remember, which is pretty fucking good in 6 months, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of the main reasons why I still train today, like personal train, because he was like, yo, I could walk up the stairs. I could carry my kid. I could do things like just by taking off those unneeded pounds, even though I still have a lot, like my body works. I could carry my kid up the stairs. Like that alone, I was like, oh shit. Like, like you don't realize what you don't have, like what you can do with your body. Like our bodies aren't meant to be sitting at a desk all day. I know. You know? And like you see like even people as young as me or like people in their 30s, like they can't move their bodies. They got rounded backs and
it's wild to me.
They are overweight and they could barely get out of their car. And I'm just like, yo, like you're 32 and you can't get out of your car?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's nuts. Like if to meet someone who's just never really worked out or used their body, right? Yeah. And you can get away with that, but then once you hit, 50, 60, 70s years old, the way that shit catches up, oh hell no. Quickly. Hell no, dog.
Yeah. Did you always want to, I guess like the vibe that I get from you is very similar. I think we agree on this aspect is like for me, I always, oh, you want some more water, bro?
Yeah, thanks.
Get some more water for you.
Trying not to cough this COVID everywhere. I'm joking. No, I tested. I tested negative. Woo! You can cut all this out. Damn, I'm impressed with this apartment, bro.
You're good, dude.
Surfboards and shit. Oh, thank you, homie.
Yeah, I kind of got a lot of shit in here.
You don't do TV?
It's the screen projector, bro. You saw it.
Fancy.
Right there.
My bad.
All good. So my point was like, for me, like the biggest thing, especially since I've had like close, somewhat people like pass away in my life, like at a young age. I always made it like relevant that I only want to do things that I want to do, like no matter what, for money, for whatever. I was like, yo, life's too short to like not do things you want to do. And I feel like you've been doing that your entire life. You just do things you want to do and it's worked out.
Yeah, I guess it's been cool. Yeah. I'll tell you something crazy, dog. When I was in 8th grade, I went to the library and I checked out an unauthorized biography of Eddie Murphy.
What does unauthorized mean?
It means like he didn't commission the book, right? So in there, and now I'm 13 and I'm reading this, and in there it said, he never had a plan B, because if you're thinking about a plan B, then your plan A will never work.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, that's some crazy shit to say to a 13-year-old. But at the time, I believed it.
Why is that crazy shit to say to a 13-year-old?
I mean, the responsible thing, right?
To have a plan B.
Is it's like, go to work, go to school, get an education.
Sure.
Because this degree is going to set you up for all kinds of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to act.
Yeah.
I don't need any of this algebra. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat through all this.
Yeah.
And I told friends, I'm like, listen, I'm going to be a star. Just let me cheat and I'll buy you a Porsche. Like, I was like negotiating with friends in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About like, you know, just shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And, and I mean, it's definitely, I definitely believe in the power of like attraction and putting it out there.
Yeah.
And you know, you will get it. But I also too believe that like we're all like, there's this one principle I kind of learned where everybody has like a different temperature gauge, right? On like a thermostat, right? So if you're saying your success in life is only 85 degrees, and once you hit 85 degrees, you kind of start to cool off, right? As opposed to like, let's see if I can make it hotter in here, 90 degrees, right? And so, yeah, I think I've ran into that, you know, where I got comfortable.
It's easy to stay in that comfort zone.
Yeah, where I got really comfortable with the, you know, the success I've had and stuff, as opposed to just like kind of pushing it to the next level. Yeah. And I've identified the reasons as to why that's happened or whatever, you know, like we all have. But
what do you think the reason is?
You know, for me, so I think you and I are alike in the same of we both have foreign parents, right? And foreign parents.
Where are your parents from?
My parents are from Nigeria.
Okay. Oh, you're Nigerian.
Yeah, I'm Nigerian. And so foreign parents, you know, when they come to this country, they're like, we ain't bullshitting.
Yeah.
We're going for it.
Yeah.
We're going to get these degrees.
We're going to run this shit.
We're going to run some shit. And my mom at a young age told me, she was like, I remember, like when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, I remember she came home from school upset because she like put her heart and soul into this paper she wrote, and she only got a B on it or something, and she thought she needed an A, right? And she was like, these motherfuckers, in her like African accent. You know what I'm saying? You have to work twice as hard just to achieve, what the white woman or white man, right?
Yeah.
Now, if she thought that was going to land on me, like, all right, fine, I'll just work twice as hard. I did the exact opposite. Success for me was so imagine if you're saying to me, I have to work twice or 3 times as hard to achieve the next thing over here, right?
I'm not gonna do that.
And I do it. I do achieve that success.
Yeah.
There's still a bitterness that I had to work twice as hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this dude got by in life being mediocre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way I took that was
Yeah.
like, it's like, no, success for me is like, see how little I can do. You know what I mean? Because to me, I felt like then it was like an even playing field.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Makes
And it was a
100%
bizarre.
sense.
I didn't realize this until I was like in therapy. I was like, oh my God, like that was more of my motive.
Yeah.
Because for me, it showed me equality.
It's like you're thinking, how can I get what that person has without
doing the same amount of work that person did.
doing more work than that person did. That's what you're saying.
No. I said if I have to do more work than that person did to do this,
Dude, it's the same thing.
it's not a success. Yeah, it's not success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And that's how I took that. Right? And then it took me all the way into my adulthood to realize like that was the way I was operating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I look back, and the thing is like now I get it. It's just like, life is not fair. We kind of dealt, the hands we were dealt.
Yeah, there's this I had this one girl on the podcast a couple weeks ago. She said this thing that really stuck with me. She said, "Blossom where you're planted."
Blossom where you're planted. Ah.
So everyone isn't like planted in the nice, rich soil that allows you to grow in the sunlight. Maybe you're planted in the fucking shade,
Yeah, but here's the thing: is pretty as that sounds, bro. As pretty as that sounds, like really think of the application of that.
Yeah.
So think of the application of that. Think of like, the cat that came from the hood who had zero resources, but is a genius.
Yeah.
Just figured out how to sell drugs better than everybody else because
Sure.
he blossomed where he was planted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like outside society is going to look at that person as bad and why they did this and
Sure.
X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but like there's also the stories of like, I don't know if you look up to like a Floyd Mayweather or like a Kevin Hart who like they have very humble beginnings and they're the top of the game.
yeah, but they all possess skills that is essentially needed, like necessary evils, right? Like they're all entertainers, right? And so you could hate them, but still like, I don't know, like what their product, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's easier to point to entertainers or boxers, right, or singers,
Athletes.
and use them as like role models for success. But I think that's like foolhardy because the thing is it's like, how about like the kid who who had the capacity to be a coder or a dentist or a doctor or a lawyer or a
Whatever.
you know what I'm saying? Or just a regular business owner. You know? Like that's a lot. I think that's a lot harder.
Yeah, but they had to like work to support their sisters and family.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get that. It's a touchy subject and like it's very like a lot of people believe in certain things for it. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, no, but as far as like, my success,
What's your definition of success, by the way?
I think if you're happy, and I think if you're able to leave behind a legacy, and you know, when your run is up, if you've accumulated enough wealth to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you know, I think that's success.
Yeah.
Right. You know, yeah, because I think the worst thing is to work your ass off, but not be able to like own a home or pass, you know, some type of generational wealth of some sort to your children, or set your children up if you want to have children, right? To be able to succeed, or, you know, when your name is spoken upon, like these are the things that they said you did and you're achieved, and they don't have to be grand and monumental, right? They can be, you know, successes within just like a family dynamic with, you know, I think that's what success.
Real quick though, but like for legacy and like I guess success in that definition, you fast forward 1,000 years from now, like most likely no one will remember. No one will have that recollection of that Nate built or Victor. How do you say your name? Togunde.
Yes and no. I think like I think if like you as an individual are able to lay down a foundation, right, for, you know, the people that come after you, to build on it, whatever that looks like.
Sure.
But while you are living, you were able to benefit from it in some type of way, to where you didn't die broke.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's, whether your name is spoken about or not, you know, and they're actually able to point to your name in a history book 1,000 years from now, you know, yeah, that would be nice. But like, I think that, you know, I think that if there was some aspect about if the way you were able to live your life that touched, moved, inspired something or somebody in such a way where they went on to do great things, then like you won.
There you go. Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. Yeah, I feel like that's a success.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out like what my definition of success has been, and lately for this like I guess past like couple years, it's like for me it's doing what you want to do with the people you want to do it with when you want to do it.
Yeah.
That's basically it. But like it's cool to hear like everyone's like perception of success, because like some people think it's like $1 million, or when I get that season regular, or when I, you know.
Yeah.
That's their.
Don't get me wrong, all that shit's dope.
That's
dope.
their
yeah.
85 degrees.
Yeah.
So I always think you're bullshitting me every single time you tell me you've never drank and you've never done any drugs in your entire life.
Never, dog.
Bullshit.
I swear, dog. Never.
How?
Man.
Like, and every time you tell me, it's not that you don't want to do it. Like, which confuses me.
So
like, give me a rundown, my friend.
So here's how it
mind
started.
fucks me every single time.
Right now, here's what happened. My first encounter ever with like a foreign substance in my body, I was probably 5-6 years old.
Okay.
And I'm from Texas, and everybody liked to dip tobacco, right? And some cowboy lived in the neighborhood, gave me a pinch of some skull.
Yeah.
Right? And I put it under my tongue, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was scared to move because I thought it would fall over. And that whole dizzy thing just freaked me out.
Sure.
Freaked me out, right?
Yeah.
So then fast forward to like the moments in my life where, you know, it made an impact. So then right? I'm in like, I don't know, 3rd grade or whatever. And the cop comes in, right? You know how, you remember that day where they're all like, and the cop comes in and like the whole DARE campaign and all that. And you know, this cop is looking at this fucking cop with a gun. He's like, say no to drugs. You'll die if you do them once. And I believed him.
Sure.
I believed him that if you did drugs once, there was a chance you can die. Then fast forward to freshman year of high school. My best friend, very reserved, dude named OJ, right? Low key. We go to our first high school party and there's a keg and he gets drunk off the keg.
Yeah.
And he lights up.
Yeah.
He became me.
Yeah.
We were best friends, but he was the reserved one. I've always been the outgoing one.
Yeah.
So then what freaked me out even more is he went to go talk to Colleen Foster. She's a senior and the baddest bitch in fucking high school.
Okay.
And this motherfucker went to talk to her?
Yeah.
I was like, the level of liquid courage that alcohol gave him was mind blowing. Obviously, we didn't call it liquid courage at the time, but like, and what I took from that was I was like, oh, if it made him that outgoing, imagine what it would do to me. I would probably be out of control, right? I'd probably whip my dick out for no reason or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was already loud and obnoxious. You know what I mean? Sure. I was always like that guy, and I was just like, I can't be that drunk guy. So I think all those things was like, nah, I don't think I'll ever want to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think those were all the. Now, I mean, you know, now I'm older or whatever, and it probably would have just done the exact opposite. Probably would have mellowed me out. You know, whatever. I don't know, but
it never like sparked your interest to just even like see.
No, I mean,
because like you're around a lot of yoga community. They smoke a lot of weed out there.
Man, I'm around Hollywood. Like I've seen coke. You know what I mean? Like all that. It's crazy because there was a brief period. There was a brief period in my life. I was fortunate enough to get on like the permanent guest list to the weekend parties at the Playboy Mansion back in the day, right? And
how was that?
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. It was everything I thought it would be. Everything I thought it would be. It was that.
And so basically you're talking about why you don't do drugs and that you got invited to these Playboy Mansion parties. Yeah. And you thought you needed to carry drugs around.
Yeah, for a brief minute, because I noticed, I was like, man, the first thing out of every girl's mouth up here is like, you got any cocaine? I'm like, no. And then they'd move on to the next guy and they'd be fucking in the grotto. I'm like, damn it, I need some cocaine. That was like, man, I was, but I never got.
You never did that.
But yeah, but I realized I've missed out on a lot by not doing drugs or drinking alcohol.
Yeah, you're also alive and well and healthy.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm eventually gonna do it all.
You always say that though.
There'll be a moment.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to sound sappy and sentimental.
Yeah.
But I'm sure my first drink will probably be with like the woman I marry.
Uh-huh.
Like on a Friday night, I picture us like popping open a bottle of wine or something. Yeah. That's why I'm fascinated, but I am fascinated with all your bitters and all that because I think that's the kind of guy I don't think I'd ever be a beer drinker. I don't think I'd like beer.
Sure.
I think I would like really good tasting liquor drinks.
Bitters are healthy for you too. You put them in your tea, cook with it, shit like that.
Yeah.
But I'm thoroughly impressed, bro, because you've been in Hollywood, you've been in LA for a good chunk of time.
Yeah, and, dog. I've seen it all, bro.
I feel like that's some discipline over there, my friend.
It's wild. Like people, because I used to go out hard.
Yeah.
And when I run into people from like back in the
How do
day,
you go out hard without doing any substances though?
I just pounded 3 Red Bulls, dog. That was hard. That was hard for me. Just like
Get your heart rate up and going, baby.
Just like when the vibe is right, when the music's good, when the crowd is just like. But because I never did like drugs to like that kept me up.
Yeah.
I was always ready to shut it down by like 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I was never. There's rarely any time in my LA clubbing experience that like I saw the daylight.
Dang.
Rarely.
Yeah.
But all my friends who they got it in, that was you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was looking at your I didn't even know you had a regular Instagram besides the Acro one. I was just looking up stuff about you before this to do my homework.
Oh yeah.
And I was scrolling down, dude, you were shredded.
Oh yeah. I know, man.
I saw you in Vegas partying it up and shredded. I was like, come on, Vic.
Bro, I gotta get back to that, man. It's food. It's gotta be. It's the food. I know. I'm probably like 30 pounds heavier than that. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely can. I mean, dude, diet abs are made in the kitchen, bro.
Yeah. I definitely.
Yeah.
I gotta get back to that.
I don't know. You got a wifey now, bro.
No, listen. Let me tell you. So. She's like, I'm about this gym life.
Yeah.
Right? So, she's like, I want to hit this shit. And I was like, I'll help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I just know she's about to be a monster.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need to like get my shit together.
Yeah. What motivates you? Like with anything? Like,
how do you mean?
Like, I guess, do you work out because food motivates you? Do you work out because, like, you want a female's attraction? Do you work?
No, work out if... Yeah, I mean, just to look good, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I know people work out because it really releases endorphins and it makes them feel better. Mm-hmm. That works for me. I don't need it as much as other people. Yeah. Right? But yeah, for me, it's more about just like, I just want to look good in clothes. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? But then if I see myself on television, I'm like, God, I'm fat. Then I'll be like, damn it, that'll be like the biggest motivator.
You fit that commercial picture perfectly, my friend. I was like, damn, that's what's up.
Yeah. So random things, but no, as far as like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe if I drop like 30, I don't know. I don't think I've ever.
I would love to see you make that comeback, bro, and see shredded Vic on the beach right now.
Yeah. All right, I'll bring it back.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
I'll bring it back.
What do you call it? What did you learn most from? I guess these last 2 crazy fucking years.
Man.
Because like I feel like for me, I did a lot of soul searching. I read a lot of books. Like I feel like I did a lot of growth this year. Did you what few things did you take out of these last 2 years that you learned?
Friendships, man. Just like I took for granted like the ability to be able to go out or hang out or
do shit like this.
Yeah. And so like when that was taken away, I was like, all right, cool. Like I need to make more of an effort to like just kick it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy your friendships.
Yeah. So just that. And 2, because Acro was taken away from me, right? And I couldn't do it at the level that I was used to doing it. Mm-hmm. My mind kind of recalibrated to like really wanting to be back in, full throttle in the entertainment world, you know? Yeah.
But that world was kind of paused too.
What?
That world was kind of paused too.
It did, but in a different way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
self-tapes at home instead of going.
Yeah, self-tapes. Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
So, but also too, what else has changed? you know, the people I fuck with, you know, moving forward, man, it's just like, you know, just people showed their colors in a lot of varying degrees, you know, good and bad. And I just think like, I think it's really important now to just, you know, build, you know, those people up that you really want to build up, you know, and let them know how much you support them, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But what was yours again?
Oh, like learning stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just like learned to be happy being alone. I read a lot of I read all the Harry Potter books, right? And I was like, fuck, I missed out on a lot. And I was like, these fictional stories teach you a lot, right? They taught me a lot about friendship, right? Like this community, they taught about like death, right? And I just did a lot of soul searching there, and I feel like I'm very comfortable being in my own skin, being alone. I cherish this conversation I have with you like very deeply, you know, and that I always want to do things that are important to me and not settle for anything less type of deal, you know. And fucking tomorrow there could be tanks down Santa Monica and you don't know what can happen.
Yeah. Bruh, I know, right?
You know?
Man. So, you know, one thing that I did find I listened to a ton of music podcasts. And I learned so much about the music industry and some of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
They were speaking on a lot of their creative processes. And the common theme that I had heard was, it's not about being perfect, just the big accidents. About how
the big accidents.
Yeah, just the accidental things they stumbled upon when they were making some of the greatest music they wrote. And it just really reinforced for me how, you know, moving forward in the creative process, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to like just step out there and do it.
Yeah.
Right. So that was one thing. That was one of the big things I kind of took away from 2020.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Past 2 years.
I think we'll end it there. That was good.
Man, well, thank you again for having me.
Thanks for coming, brother. You guys
guy.
could find Mr. Vic at the Acro Machine on Instagram. If you guys want to take any classes, they just DM you.
Well, yeah, man, just DM me, bro.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.
Thank you. Peace. All right. Yo, this was fun, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks for having me.